let's see here. Phil Beglan. Wow. I just adore that guy. And I have so much admiration for him. He's one of those chaps that really, 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 really inspired me. He showed me what a human being is capable of. Not just his work. I mean, his shots were amazing. And Henry would give him weird stuff. Like, he did this one shot. It was like the interior of a chest with all the toys in a toy chest. Coraline's room, there's a little toy chest, and the toys came to life. And those props were tiny. And they weren't really necessarily designed for movement. I bet they were, I think, but he got... And when you look down into the chest, you know, first of all, there's a fucking camera staring down at it, which is, you know, in your way. I think it was pretty close to the chest, too. And, you know, you look... I think I peeked on that set, and I was like, how did you get your fucking hands in there? How did you animate any of this stuff? It's a piece of piss, mate. You know, that's a horrible fucking... But that was one of his little expressions, a piece of piss. It's nothing. It's a piece of piss. I can't do a Phil Beglan impression, sorry. But he had some really, really great vernacular. He had some real fucking one-liners that was just golden. Just get on with it. Normal. It's just normal. His observations of the world were the things that really helped me. You know, like, just get on with it. Don't sweat the small stuff. You have to be reasonable. Reasonable was one of his favorite words, it felt like. Because people were not being reasonable on that movie. And I wasn't being reasonable. You know, if I had changed my perspective, then, and this is something I know now, abusers are going to abuse. They just are. You know, but an abuser works hand in glove with somebody that is ready to be abused. A victim. And if you walk around expecting the world to be abuserless, you're in for some abuse. You know what I mean? And I was walking around expecting the world to be free of abuse, from abuse. You know, I had arrived at the pearly gates like it was like this shining. It was a chance to be part of the A team, and I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be quite as dark and diabolical as it became. I didn't think I was going to break up with my wife. I didn't think a lot of things. But events unfolded, and I did get close to certain people. And the other thing that Phil inspired was his inventiveness. You know, when Coraline rapped, he went into his lab and started inventing new technologies. And he built many prototypes. He learned about new materials. and he cracked the code. He cracked the code. He discovered, a new way to leverage physics and materials to create a new technology. And not only did he crack the code on facial animation, mechanical facial animation, miniaturized for puppets, but he also figured out body. How to like make puppets lightweight and user-friendly, modular. How to get beautiful, sharp elbows and knee bends without any fuss. And so watching him do that, my admiration just grew and grew. Because it showed me, the human potential through ingenuity. And he would say stuff like, like if you just put your mind to it, you can invent a way around anything. Necessity is the mother of invention. Well, it is. He needed to figure that shit out. He just needed to. And he made it his life purpose to figure it out, and he did. It's interesting that, when he got a patent for his stuff, nobody wanted to license his stuff. I did. But I was not in a position to license it. I wasn't like... I tried to get it on a pilot that I animation supervised, and we had an interview with him, and the head of puppets at the time, I think, may have been a tiny bit threatened by the technology, because it was so revolutionary. It was like all or nothing. You're at the poker table, you gotta go fucking all in. There was no half-assing this. It wasn't like, hey, let's just use a little bit of this tech here and there. No, it was like, this is a system. And guess what? The system you spent 25 years is going to die now. And nobody wanted to do that. And Leica didn't want to do it because they invested so much money in their 3D printing and their armature department. So he invented something that could have pushed stop motion into the stratosphere. It took the technology that we've all been accustomed to using and thrust it forward like 50 years. And unfortunately, here we are, 12 years later, and nobody is using Phil Beglan's invention. Nobody. Such a shame. Such a shame. And I'm going to take that technology to my grave, because I love and respect Phil too much to steal it. Anyway, to be continued. I met Danny Elfman, and I'm kind of high as a kite because of it. I'm a big fan. I'm working for Eddie Alcazar on his music video for the weekend. And lo and behold, who does he bring by? But Danny Elfman. He just unannounced. He's like, "Hey, I want you to meet my buddy Danny." And in walks Danny Elfman, shakes my hand. I was like, "Oh my God, it's great to meet you." I said, one of my buddies directed a music video for you. His name's Fred Sturr." And he goes, "Oh my God, Fred. Wow, I've got 2 puppets from that video at my Santa Monica home." And then we proceeded to talk for, I don't know, like half an hour or 45 minutes just about stop motion and writing and music and Henry Rollins and getting fit and Henry Selick. Oh my God, we talked about Henry Selick. And I said to him, I'm not going to dish, but I was like, "Well, you're in good company. I have very similar experiences with Henry Selick." So we kind of fist bumped about that. But, yeah, man, it was amazing. What a legacy. What a special contribution he has made to the stop motion universe. And I kind of asked him, I said, I was listening to a podcast of one of your ex-girlfriends who had been interviewed about writing Nightmare. And he started laughing. He was like, "Oh, yeah, I was having some work done on my house, and we shacked up together in Burbank, and she wrote Nightmare Before Christmas while I was writing the music for it. And I got to tell him how important I think some of those songs are to me. I sing some of those songs to my son, or I did when he was a baby, and it would put him to sleep. Gus, my son, is really into Star Wars, but I think at some point he's going to have probably a Nightmare Before Christmas phase, and I wonder if he'll remember his dad singing those songs to him. Anyway, stop motion has a funny way of, weaving magic into your life. Elfman. He's like the magic elf that came and sprinkled pixie dust on this project. When he came by, everything started kind of going right. We were moving giant set pieces, and for some reason, the set was about to fall on the last frame. We kept looking at each other going, Elfman magic. Everything that would go right, me, Javier, and James Allen would all kind of turn to each other and go, that was another Elfman moment right there. Pretty incredible. And thanks to Eddie for bringing him by. That was pretty awesome. Anyway, I wanted to share the lovely luck and good fortune of meeting that cool dude. Yeah, what else? What's going on? I don't know. That's it.